Hi, I'm Dana, and I'm here to talk a little bit about some books that I've read and that I liked very much, so that maybe I can try to convince you to read them too. The first book I'm gonna talk about is a Swedish book. This one, in Swedish, it's called Män som hatar kvinnor, or something like that. I don't speak Swedish. In Portuguese, it's called Os Homens que não amavam as mulheres, and in English, it's called The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. It was written by Stieg Larson. This book is super deep, super interesting, very conflicting. There are so many elements that make the reading something you feel like you can't stop until you're done. And when you're done, you're like, oh my God, how am I gonna live after reading this? I need more. What happened now? What happened to them? What's going on? Who am I? Maybe not. No, maybe not. In this book, there are so many different elements. There is mystery, crime, drama, passion, revelations, and so on. It's super interesting. I really advise you to read it. I'm going to get started by talking a little bit about the most important characters, okay? First of all, there is Mikael Blomkvist. He has some problem with justice, and this moment of his life, he's in kind of some sort of personal problems. He's dealing with some stuff. His magazine is almost bankrupt, so things are not good for him. And at this time, in the book, he receives a proposal. A man named Henrik Venja proposes that he writes a biography about his family. Not only that, he also wants Mikael to investigate the disappearance of his niece, a girl called Harriet Venja. But the thing is, the girl disappeared around 40 years before that day. Well, what do? If police doesn't find out anything, you call a journalist, right? They know how to dig stuff. That's what happened. Mikael wasn't very interested at first, or at all, but with the magazine thing going on, he accepted it, money talks. That's how Mikael got into this story. He got to this fictional island where the Vengers had a property and started going after some information, researching, digging, talking to people. Let's pause here and go to another character, Lisbeth Salander. Lisbeth is one of my favorite characters of all times. This girl is tough. She has had a very difficult life. Her father, Alexander Zalachenko, was a deserted Soviet agent who at some moment of their life, he beat her mom so hard that she had severe and permanent brain damage. Lisbeth didn't know how to deal with it. Oh, I wouldn't either at all. She got super angry and she decided to throw gasoline on her dad's car, with him inside, of course, and throw a match. Boom! Unfortunately, that was not enough to kill Alexander Zalachenko. He didn't die. Because Lisbeth failed in this, she was considered a threat by some other Soviet agents, and they managed to throw her into a mental facility, a child psychiatric hospital, and put her under surveillance of nothing but a pedophile. Two things. Lisbeth was only 12 years old at that time, and if someone beats your mom so bad, wouldn't you feel like, getting back at them? I totally would. Lisbeth, I'm 100% with you. The thing is, while she was in that mental institution, it was about 5 years, she suffered all kinds of abuse because her mentor, her public guardian, was a pedophile. It was awful. When she was old enough to leave the institution, she was tested to see if she was mentally able to live in the world like a regular person. But guess what? Under some influence, she was considered not completely capable. And because of that, she was designed another guardian. Well, at first, she had a good man. His name was Holger, and he really tried to help her. He was good to her. But he died. I don't think he died, actually. I think he just got really sick. Anyways, she got a second public guardian. And that man, how can I say that man? Evil? Not enough. Not enough for the man. He was a sexual, abusive man. He required sexual favors, and those favors were not only bad enough, they were very violent, physically and emotionally. They were super tough. They were disgusting. He wanted her to do some stuff I can't even mention, so that he would give her the money that was hers, that her family left to her, that her legacy and things. It kind of molded her personality into being quite difficult, you know? But again, who wouldn't? This same man that was like the sexual abusive guy, he describes her as sick, murderous, insane fucking person. I really wanted to know how he would describe himself. Anyways, she is not completely capable of doing everything according to this test, but she is able to work. So she starts working at a security company. One beautiful day, she was there at work, and her boss gives her the task of researching a man. A very important client hired them to research Mikhail Blomqvist. Oh, wait, there's more. Guess who was the influent, rich, powerful man who asked them to research Mikhail? You're right. It was Henrik Venya. While she was following him, tailing him, and trying to figure things out, Mikhail finds out. He gets angry at first, but then guess what he does? He hires her as his assistant to work with him, trying to figure out the little girl's disappearance. And that's when the two of them get together, and that's where it all starts. If I say anything else, I'll spoil everything, but I promise you this book has it all. The characters are dense, they are intense, they have issues like we do, and issues that we don't, thank God. This book is just like amazing because there is a lot of action, there is despair, there is fear, greed, cruelty, there is tenderness. So it's a great book. It also deals with some difficult subjects like sexual abuse, sexual violence, sexism, threats, injustice, powerful people giving the cards, you know. So when I said it was a deep book, I really meant it. And I really hope I interested you enough to read it. Thank you.